Hi, it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my sixth update for the Ancient Mythos Project Pan. This is a Pantastic Ladies project that was created by Daria, and it is themed around Greek mythology. There's a list of 30 prompts, and I've been going through them, picking them at random. I've also been doing this progressive style, so if I get to an update and I don't have anything to roll out, I bring something new in anyway. That is not what I am doing today because there is something rolling out. As usual, I will start with the products that have been in here the longest. Since the intro, I have been working on the prompt Athena. Athena was the Greek goddess of wisdom and war, and drawing on the wisdom part of that, she is represented by a product that was recommended to you. And a long time ago, I had a coworker recommend to me this perfectly posh The Healer Skin Stick, which sounds like a scam, but she was an intelligent person and she says this really did work. So if you put it on a minor injury, it does help it heal faster. And it does actually seem to do that in a lot of cases, to my surprise. My goal is actually to finish this, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to do that. This actually does not retract like it's supposed to, but it's broken. So I don't know how much is left in here. It's probably just going to be in here the whole time. I am okay with that because that does give me a reason to remember to use it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't. And I actually have been using this a lot over the last week. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there we go. That's a burn. So I was eating a Totino's pizza roll, and it was the perfect temperature when I took a bite out of it, but the cheese inside was lava and I lost 2 layers of skin. So I did treat it with aloe vera for a couple of days, but once it got to the stage of healing where it was itchy and not painful, I started using this all the time. We'll see if that helps in the long run. But this is still in the project. I've been using it. I'm going to be using it at least until that is gone. We'll see how long that takes, but this is still here. Next is Psyche. She was a mortal princess who fell in love and married the Greek god of love and sex, Eros, and so she was then actually made immortal. She was allowed to drink ambrosia to be with him forever. So it's a product that you would repurchase forever, and I picked this Tula Skincare 24/7 Ultra Moisture Intense. This is the intense version because it was on sale. I love the original one more, honestly, but this is what I had, so this is what I brought in. My goal is to finish it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the white on white, but it is almost gone. There's only like 2 or maybe 3 days worth left in there, so this will be an empty for next time, but for now it is still in the project. At least I know I have a guaranteed rollout for the next update. Next is Persephone, and she is represented by a product that you only bring out for a specific season. Persephone was the queen of the underworld. She was also the daughter of Demeter. And so for the 6 months that Persephone was in the underworld with her husband Hades, Demeter was sad, and that is why we have fall and winter. So the story goes. And so I brought out this completely bare Don't Grow There. It is supposed to be a moisturizer slash hair growth inhibitor. So I would use this in the spring and summer so I would have less body hair. It didn't actually do that, but I have now finished it. I used it 33 times in this project, and it is now gone. I was using it on my arms. I don't think it reduced the amount of hair on my arms at all, so I am not going to be buying this again, even though as a moisturizer it did perfectly fine. It was a pretty average moisturizer with a light but pleasant scent. So it's gone. I won't miss it, and I will have someone coming in place of Persephone. The next prompt was Calypso, and she is a product you never want to let go of. She did not want to let go of Odysseus. He and his crew got to her island, and it was 7 years before she allowed them to leave because she kept insisting that Odysseus should be her lover, and he kept refusing because, of course, he is trying to get home to his wife. Maybe Zeus could learn something from Odysseus. And for her, I brought in this Prep Rally Prep and Prime Detangler. I'm not necessarily loyal to this detangler, though it is a good one, but I do always want to have a detangler. I have fine hair and it gets very tangled, particularly when it's windy. This is something that I need in my life, but this particular one is now gone. It was there at the last update. I used it a total of 27 times in this project. It is now an empty, and so I will also need to bring in someone for Calypso. Then I had Dionysus, and he is the Greek god of wine. He loves drinking and a good time, so he is a product for a night out or a wine-colored product. You could argue that I was cheating, but I brought in the Bath & Body Works Pocket Back and Champagne Toast. Champagne is wine, and therefore anything champagne-colored is wine-colored, right? My goal is to finish this. There's my marks. I've made a little bit more progress over the last month than I did previously, but I still do want to use this a little bit faster. It does smell nice. This actually is technically expired, but you do still smell alcohol in it. And so the reason they put expiration dates on hand sanitizers is because the alcohol does evaporate out faster than the water. So whenever the alcohol's gone, it's not effective. So it might not be as effective as it was originally because there is less alcohol most likely. It does still do something, so I'm not really interested in trying to replace it in something that hasn't expired yet. But once the alcohol smell is gone entirely, then it really is essentially useless. But we're not at that point yet, and I'm still trying to finish it. And then last time I brought in the prompt, the Argo. The Argo was the ship that Jason and his crew sailed on their quest to find the Golden Fleece. So the Argo is represented by a flagship product, or a product that a brand is really well known for. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat in the shade Lemon Lava. Fenty is, of course, known for their Gloss Bomb lip gloss. That's what kind of initially put them on the map as a brand. It was a time when a lot of celebrities and influencers were trying to release brands at the same time, but they made a name for themselves with their lip gloss. So even though the Heat's not the formula that everyone thinks of and really likes, I'm still counting this. My goal is to use it 10 times. In the last month, I've used it 3 times. So I still have 7 uses to go. This doesn't really look yellow on the lips. It does give shine. There's actually some shimmer in there. You can't feel the shimmer particles though. And so it does give a really nice kind of shiny effect. It does not seem to alter the color of whatever other lip product I'm wearing underneath. So I will be using this 7 more times, maybe over the next month, we'll find out. I did meet 2 goals over the last month. I did finish this moisturizer for Persephone and also this detangling spray for Calypso. So Tiny Decisions has picked 2 more prompts at random for me, and I will pick items for those 2 prompts. The first prompt I got is Medusa, and she's represented by a product that used to have embossing. It was pretty, but now isn't. And that might sound like an odd choice of prompt. Most people know of Medusa from the story of Perseus. He was sent to kill her. He used his shield and the reflection in it to find her and kill her because, of course, whenever you make eye contact with her, she will turn you into stone because she is a Gorgon and she can do that. In a lot of mythology sources, Medusa was kind of always a monster, but in some sources, she actually has an origin story. There is currently a thunderstorm, so you might be hearing some thunder in the background. I love thunderstorms. I'm kind of sad I'm missing it. But we're going to talk about Medusa. Medusa was actually once a beautiful young woman. She was also a priestess of Athena, and Athena required that her priestesses had to be pure, which meant that they had to be virgins. One day, Medusa was at the temple, and Poseidon had decided, for whatever reason, that he was angry at Athena and wanted to spite her in some way. So he raped Medusa. Since Medusa was no longer a virgin, Athena felt that she had been spited by her priestess. And so she also punished Medusa in addition to what had just happened to her. Athena turned Medusa into a monster. It's a little bit unclear as to why, but Medusa's 2 sisters, Euryale and Stheno, were also punished in the same way. It isn't clear, though, what it is that they said or did that invoked Athena's wrath. But that's when they were turned into monsters with the snakes for hair, and they lived in their cave until Perseus showed up and killed Medusa. So on that cheerful note, the product that I picked that was once pretty and now is not is this Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Captivating. Even the little samples have that same embossing of the Amazon River on them, but I did hit pan on this. There is some of the embossing still visible over here. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the embossing has now been disrupted, and so this is what I'm bringing in for Medusa with a goal to use it 10 times. The other prompt that was randomly picked for me was Aphrodite, and she is the goddess of love. And so she is represented by a product that you fell in love with at first sight or something pink. And I went with something pink. This is the Bath & Body Works Sweet Summer Kiss Fine Fragrance Mist. My goal is going to be to use this 20 times for Aphrodite. So there's my update. I had 2 rollouts and 2 roll-ins, and that was some lightning. I don't know if you saw it or not. For next time, I am sure I will have at least 1 rollout. This moisturizer is only going to last a couple more days. So I know I'll have something rolling out next time. We'll see what comes in its place. Until then, wish me luck. Good luck with your projects, and I will see you next month. Bye.